Hello everyone, you found Under the Evening Star. My name is Melissa, and if you're interested in cross-stitch, quilting, and taking time to be creative, then welcome. I'm excited to spend some time with you today. My last video that I recorded was a whip parade, and as I finished that up, I looked at the clock and I thought, okay, I have a little more time, so I thought I would film a kit parade. Basically, I have a bin of cross-stitch kits that I've put together, and if my voice will hold out, I'll share some of those with you. Over the past year, when I haven't been doing Flosstube, I've been doing some stitching, but also trying to find the materials that I needed to put together some kits for some of the patterns that I have. So I'm just going to go through a lot of them. I really don't have any in any special bags. If they're in kits, I've been just using these kits that I found on Amazon. I did get some of these from, I want to say Walmart at a back to school sale. They had a container of these on a shelf. I think you could buy a set of 10 maybe. So anyway, they're kind of nice because they're clear, they're easy to see through, and while I've got some on my to-do list, making some project bags that go with specific themes or projects that hasn't been high on my priority list because stitching time has been a little more limited, and when I have a chance to do that, then I want to work on stitching. So we'll get started today. So I have everything unzipped and ready to share. The first project that I want to share with you, they're not in any particular order, they're just how they were in my bin. So the first one is the Bee in My Bonnet stitch cards. This is set M by Lori Holt, and It's So Emma Stitchery, that's associated with Fat Quarter Shop, printed these, and each pattern is on a different card. So there are 4 patterns in this one, and like you can see, this is one, and then the pattern is on the back with all of the required floss and that kind of thing. So of course I dropped these. But yeah, of course the strawberries are what appealed for this one, and the tea kettle and the teacup, because I love all of those things. My family and I often have a cup of tea in the evening, and I've got my daughter hooked on London Fogs. We like them both hot and iced. We've got a really neat gallery and studio space and bakery in an old lumberyard building downtown Farmington called Artifacts, and they make really awesome London Fogs. So I just got a DMC pack, and I also picked up a Lori Holt fabric. This is called Farmhouse. It's just kind of a light shade of kind of pinkish ivory, and I want to say it's 25 count even weave. So got everything I need, and I kind of have an idea of how I want to finish it, but I'm still kind of toying with some ideas. So the next one is Alicia Paulson, has her own cross-stitch design company. She's very creative and does a lot of different things, but Posy Gets Cozy is her company, and this one is called Love and Joy, and I bought this one as a kit from her website. And I'm sure it was the cardinal that drew me in on this one. But it looked very classic, very simple. And the thread, or the fabric that came with it, is here. And her other, I have another kit that is a whip that I'm stitching on. And it's 32 count, so let's see what this one is. it says 28 thread count. So, yep, it says Zweigart, 28 count casual linen in smoky pearl. So that makes sense. Smoky pearl, kind of a gray color. So, anyway, nice Christmassy one. I think the last time I looked, I had around 20, maybe 23 whips, and I feel like, in a way, I mean, I know there are people that have a lot more. I know that there are people that are monogamous. 20 something, for me it seems like a lot, for me. So there are some that I'd like to finish, I think, because I feel like there are some that I haven't touched in a while, just because of the pace that I'm stitching lately doesn't really seem to support that many whips, but I'm hoping this next year, while my cognitive load is a little less with all the learning I'm doing with the job that I have now, I'm hoping to not be so exhausted at the end of the day that it feels doable to pick up some stitching and just make some progress more often. So maybe that amount will be okay. But I'd like to start some new things, but I'm trying to hold off until, you know, I make some more progress or get some more things kind of finished. So I'm really a process stitcher, like, I just love stitching, and so I don't worry too much about having finishes, like fully finished items, but I imagine if I started having more of them, I might enjoy that just as much, so we'll see. I don't know. This next one is a kit from Mill Hill. It's a buttons and beads, and it's kind of in here upside down. I'm afraid if I hold it upside down, things will fall out, but we'll see. I'm going to try it. I have it in here like this because I've gone ahead and kind of kitted it up. I put all the threads and labeled them and kind of have it ready to go. But so let me flip it without anything falling out. It is called Snow Globe. And I love snow globes, and that little wintry scene is so pretty. So, thought that might be nice. I did finish a little gingerbread house kind of ornament or magnet, and once I got going on it, I really enjoyed it. So that's why I kind of kitted this up and got it ready to pull out for when I'm ready to work on it. So, the next one is Hands-On Design. Let's Talk chalk series. Is that right? Let's Talk Autumn. It's the Let's Talk Chalk Talk series. Anyway, this is the autumn one, and I haven't started it because I have the winter and the spring in the works. The spring is a little further along. I think I'm gonna finish that one up maybe before I then work on the winter one. Wherever I'm at on the winter one, I have a feeling I might start this one this fall though, and have two of them going. So anyway, love the fall colors in this one, and these are adorable. I haven't done these yet, so maybe with this one when I get started on it, maybe I'll go a little different direction and start with the smalls. So anyway, I did purchase this one at Fat Quarter Shop, and they put the thread pack together of DMCs, and then I'm pretty sure that this one will be on chalkboard black, 14 count Ada. So that one in there. So I have another Mill Hill. This one is called All Is Calm, and it's a pretty little winter scene. The last few years, we've been able to be at my brother's house and go to his church for Christmas, and it's one of it's got, like, you know, it's a little steepled church, and you know, singing Christmas carols and hymns and just some really good memories. So there's something kind of nostalgic I feel about that. So This is another kit from Hands On Design that I actually purchased at the Jingle Ball, the very first one. And they're just little ornaments. And I think it's called Oh Christmas 3. And it came with all the thread from Color and Cotton. And I've never stitched with Color and Cotton, so I'm excited to do that. I've got one whip from Primrose Cottage Stitches called Be Mine that's kind of the same kind of design style. And so this one is February 14th. And this one is Sweetheart. And I'm pretty sure I'm stitching that other one on 25 count white. I'm pretty sure, and so I'll just use the same fabric to stitch these. I've kind of got the thread all pulled together. They're DMCs. It'll be a nice easy stitch. I picked up this little kit in, I either picked it up in Ireland or Wales. I can't remember. We had a trip to the UK for my daughter. She went on a trip with her school, and my husband and I went also. I kind of feel like we went separately because she stayed with her friends and her classmates, and we had there was an older sister and mom that traveled together, and there was a dad, maybe two dads, and was there another set of parents? I can't remember. There was maybe like 5 adults, and then 3 teachers, well, a couple teachers and an assistant principal, and then a bunch of teenagers, and they kind of did their own thing, and the adults kind of did their own thing. I mean, we had like our, set tour agenda and all that, but, we kind of let them be the teenagers that they wanted to be and kind of socialize together. So there was barely any like even eye contact until like a couple different points we did say hello and stuff. So anyway, we got to go on this trip, and it was actually kind of fun because my husband and I, we couldn't decide who would go and who would stay home. So we both decided, well, why don't we just both go? And that way we can spend time together and not be like, oh, we're lonely, because I have heard that can happen when, one parent goes and doesn't really know anybody. So we had a grand time together, and we went to Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. And so Edinburgh, London, just some great towns along the way. We went to the Lake District. It was amazing. So anyway, I was looking for something, and I did find a little cross stitch, so a little Celtic knot there, and one day I'll get to that one. It's got the whole thing to finish it. There's some felt for the back. So in that same vein with bookmarks, the Jingle Ball this past year, 2023, I took a class with Tiny Modernist, and I was so excited about the pattern. But I did not complete the project because I was chin deep in some professional development at the time, and then also getting trained to be able to teach that professional development class to others. And so when it came time for the Jingle Ball, I had not done the cross stitching, but I have what I need to do these 2 bookmarks. I might not have the thread yet, but we'll look in the bag here and check. But I did go to the class and watched how she assembled these, and it was just very clever. She's a great teacher. She had great, examples, and showed her techniques very well. So anyway, this one, I love both of them. They both caught my eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. I'm not really sure how these are going to go in a book, but if they'll be flat enough. But anyway, I love them, so I will definitely stitch those up. So the winter scene, I picked out this fabric. It is 25 count pewter, Lugana Brown Fat Quarter Shop. And then for the little spring one with the little house and mushrooms, I picked out this fabric, and it's just kind of a you know, a really nice neutral, and I feel like it has maybe a little bit of a green tint. I don't know if it'll, I mean, it's very subtle. It's pretty gray. It's called French lace. It's 32 count linen. It's pretty stiff. I mean, I feel like it could kind of stand up on its own almost. I got this at Stitch On in Lawrence, Kansas. I watched that used to be my local quilt shop and local cross stitch shop. And they closed their store that was downtown Lawrence and built a shop that was on their property out in the country. And they take appointments and have sew days and classes. They have a lovely space that's got a beautiful view of the Wakarusa Valley. And anyway, they do a Facebook Live on Mondays and Thursdays. And I've been able to purchase things from them. But this last summer, when I went, my main goal was to look at fabric because it's so hard to judge fabric online. And so I did pick up some pieces and was able to kit up some things while I was there. So, actually, let me stick this pattern back in here. Okay, this was one I think I've had kitted for a little bit, but I finally found some fabric for it. So it's Quaker Pumpkins. When I haven't had it quilted up for a bit, I kitted up for a bit. I think I had the pattern for a bit, and then I think I recently found some fabric for it. So it's Hello from Liz Matthews, All Hallows Eve, and I just really love those Quakers there. I've never really stitched Quakers before, so I thought that would be a good one. And if you've never stitched Quakers before, another designer, Primrose Cottage Stitches, has started coming out with some seasonal Quakers, just on little, they're just small, like little pillows, and those look like they would be like a cute way to start, you know, to try out some Quaker designs. So this is the fabric that I picked out for it, and let's see if it has a label on it. I think I picked this one up at the cross stitch shop in Albuquerque, and I don't remember, I can't think of the name of it, maybe Stitcher's Garden. This one might be a printed fabric. It has a little bit of modeling look on it, but I want to say on the other side it doesn't. But I like the modeled side, and I think that that will look really nice with that pattern. This pattern, I think I picked up at, maybe it has it on here. No, I think it's called Stitcher's Garden in Albuquerque. There's been a couple times I've been down there for work, and we've gotten out at like 3:15 or something like that from a training or a meeting that we've had, and I've had time to just run over there and have like maybe 15 minutes before the store closed, which isn't a lot of time, but it's so nice to be in a place where you can see samples. I think their store closes at 4, which makes it pretty tough, and I don't know how often I'll be able to get really back there, but it was nice to have something close that I could look at. They had a little bit of fabric that I could look at that, or you know, just look at some new patterns that were out. So I feel like I'm kind of in a desert, because that's 3 hours away. So really I don't have any other local shops close by. So anyway, I picked this up there. It's one I've had my eye on for a long time. It's Seasonal Etchings by Heart and Hand, and it reminds me of like woodcut printing blocks. I've seen some artwork in the Nelson Atkins Museum that kind of had that look to it that I just love. So anyway, and it has a cardinal on it, and it has a bunny. So here where I live, we have both like it looks like cottontail bunnies, but we also have the big eared jackrabbit, the bigger ones. And there is a pattern by, I think, Cottage Garden something, that it was out like a couple years ago. It was very popular. It had some animals, and there's a jackrabbit and a couple other animals that we see here that I kind of like to do the patterns to. But anyway, one day I've got some things to finish first. So this is the fabric that I got to go with that one. It's called Waxing Moon Dyed Effect, and it's a fabric flare. So it has kind of a little modeling. It's pretty good neutral. So, did I get thread for this one yet? Yep. Oh yes. I was able to get the, I think Stitch On and Lawrence sent me these, the Classic Colorworks. So, kind of some real like woodsy, natural earth tone colors. So pretty. I still haven't stitched any with like Classic Colorworks or Weeks or Color and Cotton, so I'm really excited to see what it's like stitching with more hand-dyed, what that's like. So, and of course some maybe Belsois or silks. One day I'll try that too. I like to try new things. So this one is called Counting is Hard by Luminous Fiber Arts, and I first saw this pattern on the Proper Stitchers Flosstube, and she had a beautiful stitch that she did with it. So I got this fabric to go with it, and this is one that I picked up at Stitch On in Lawrence, and it is 32 count linen, lamb's wool, and I thought that might work out pretty well. I mean, it's not modeled, but I think the colors will show up well on it. I wanted something that the white would stand out on, so I think that'll work. And with this one, I think I only have one thread, maybe two. Yeah, I've just got a couple threads here for it. So the next one is a freebie from Erica Arndt. I think that's how you say her name. Not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but it looks like her little brand name is Erica Made. I think that her website or her Flosstube, and she does quilting, she knits. Every once in a while she'll do a crafting kind of podcast to show some of the different crafts that she's done. But she had a cross stitch series that she did of ornaments, and what's it called? Joy Stitchy Ornament. She did a freebie when she released it, and so there's maybe 11 or 12 others. So I thought, oh, well, I'll try that. So I downloaded that, and I've just got a little piece of white already cut to do it on, and the DMCs to stitch it up. And she had some real cute designs, so I may purchase some of those at some point after I do this one. So it's really easy for me to like get ahead of myself and go, oh, I want to do that, and then buy all the things for it when I've got lots of other things to work on. So trying to resist a little bit. So this pattern, I'm not sure why I can't remember if I purchased it with some blemishes or if I did that, but I've had this one for a while. This was when Lizzie Kate was their own company and hadn't sold to 123 Stitch yet. And when they were kind of going out of business or closing their inventory out, Stitch On had some of their things on sale, and I picked this up then, and it's called Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. And I think the colorful leaves was what kind of pulled me in. And so I've got a fabric here, and it's kind of stiff. I think it's probably a 32 count. And then I've got the DMCs. During all the lockdowns, I know I went through some of the patterns that I had and ordered some floss and different things from Stitch On just to kind of help support them during that time. Okay, next thing is Snowy Owl by Snowy Owl Globe by Bent Creek. I think this is a newer release, and I saw that and it caught my eye, and I think I added it on to an order from Fat Quarter Shop because I needed to get, a certain amount to get free shipping. But when I saw that, it was something I thought my daughter might like. It reminds me of, because it's kind of a Christmassy owl, it's white, it reminds me of Hedwig from Harry Potter. And so, anyway, I don't know if she'll like it, but I did make, when I do a regular floss tube, I'll show, like, I don't think I've shown the little cross stitch that I did for her, and I don't know that she really appreciates it. Like she may one day, but I did a little, just a little, I guess you'd call it maybe a little ornament or something for her. But anyway, I like it a lot too. So anyway, if she says something that she likes it, I'll give it to her. And if not, maybe when she's older. This next one, okay, I feel like I should start this one in July, maybe on the 4th of July. It's from Fat Quarter Shop. I don't know if it was a free pattern or not, but low cost PDF pattern from them, USA Forever stamp. I think it was one for purchase. But I have the finishing kit, the wood from Chantal from 141 Design. I bought it from Fat Quarter Shop. And I don't even know. Yeah, I have the fabric, but I don't have the thread for it yet. And it's only 5 threads, so I could cut that up. I've made a few purchases, a lot of purchases here lately, because I went to Colorado Cross Stitcher's shop in Fort Collins, no, in Loveland. Those two towns run together. I think it's in Loveland. And then we spent the night in Fort Collins and went to dinner and that kind of thing here recently. And so I went specifically looking for fabric. And so I've spent more than my budget here lately. And so I need to ease up for a little bit and save back up. But I did get shadow fabric from Lori Holt. It is 25 count. I've got a lot of 25 count, I noticed. So I have to see if I have a preference for certain ones. The variety is kind of nice. So anyway, there's a possibility I could start that one on the 4th of July this year. It's not too far away. I just need to go run and get some thread. The tiny towns are so cute, and I love seeing what other people stitch with them, but I haven't felt like I needed to stitch them until I saw this one, the Little Frosty Tiny Town. And man, I love stitching wintry stuff. Well, I don't even know if sure, I like stitching just about anything, but those blues and greens really speak to me, and the grays. I just really like this a lot. So I think I might have the little frill that goes with it waiting for me at Stitch On. When they do their Facebook Lives, they will start a bag for you. And so you can watch a few Facebook Lives and you can like put some things in your bag, and when you're ready for them to ship, then you just tell them, hey, I'm ready to ship, you can give me my total. And I think I might have the little snowman that is like an extra little add-on for this. So waiting for me. So anyway, so cute. I love those blues and greens. And then the fabric that I got is this one. And it came from Stitch On as well. It is 32 count Lugana, Stormy Night. So just subtle modeling in it. All right. The next one is, okay, so one of my whips is a Bonnie and Camille. It is the, do I see it real quick right here? Because I just did that. It's from their quilting. Oh, here it is. So it's from this book, The Quilt Bee, and it's basically the same design. This is a quilt, but the cross stitch is along those lines. Same color theme, but Stitchville. My mom has a quilt shop, and she accidentally ordered this thinking it was a quilt pattern, because I think there is a quilt pattern that goes with this. And she ordered like 3 of these, not realizing that it was cross stitch. And so she gave one to me, she gave one to my sister, and one to my sister's best friend. And so anyway, my sister I think might have started it, but she's a teacher also and has she has a really busy school year, and she has a daughter that's really active in a lot of sports and activities, and so I don't know how far she's gotten on it, but when she kitted it up, I kitted it up too, and would like to start this soon. So anyway, I love Bonnie and Camille's colors. Bonnie has retired. Bonnie was the mom, Camille's the daughter, and now Camille is designing fabric and quilt patterns on her own. She's designed quilt patterns for a long time under the Thimble Blossoms brand. So anyway, I love everything. Love everything that she does. So when I kitted this up, I just got the Cosmo. Yeah, I ordered the Cosmos for that, and I just got some white 25 count Witchell Ada. Is that what it's called? Is that what it's called for? Oh, it's charted for 14 count or 25 count Lugana. So I might have enough from that, the Quilt Bee one. I might have enough left over to do it on 25 count, but we'll see. I have some white, and if I don't, just in case. All right, so this one is Lindsay Kate. I've done, I think, 2 or 3 sleds. Let's see what I've done. I've got these patterns here, and I know that I have done the cardinal, and last year I did the mug. I made a few little tweaks with it. My daughter gave me some, I think I left the cookie out and then maybe changed something with the handle. I can't remember, but anyway, I've done a couple of them, and I've got the materials to do some more. I really do like them. I've got some sleds, so those are fun little easy ones to do. But I did one of those last year. Let me see what this is. Oh, this is not cross stitch, it's embroidery. It was a little kit. So it came, I did the star, and I did a little house. I'm not quite finished with this one. And there's one more with some trees. So I love the look of embroidery designs, but I don't know, I find that they're a little more loosey-goosey. If that's, I don't know if that's a good way to describe it. I think I like cross stitch better, but I do think these are really pretty. The red and the white is really pretty. So anyway, these next 2 are from Fat Quarter Shop. It's a partnership between Stitching with the Housewives, and then they kitted up their designs and kind of sit in a kit. It's 4 times during the year, and the series is Sane of the Season. So the first one I got was spring, and if I remember right, it's strawberries, which is probably why I ordered it. They had some, I think, extra uncalled, or extra not called for. They had some extra, and so anyway, I saw some unboxings, and I was like, okay, I think I need these, and I think I have just the spot for them to finish. So this is Saints of the Season. Okay, it's not strawberries, it's tulips, which I love tulips. So really cute. And it came with some fabric to stitch on. This is Monaco, 28 count. And some finishing fabric, and then some floss there. It's a really pretty floss, really pretty colors. And then of course it came with this little charm and this little bag. So nice size bag. I'll resist zipping it up right now. Okay, and the other one that I've gotten so far is Summer. And that one has the strawberries. So I have a kind of vintage toolbox that's long and kind of shallow, and I think I could somehow attach or clip these onto the side. I really don't want to like glue it on, but I think I can find a way to kind of attach it without damaging it. But it's like an old vintage toolbox that I want to say my friend gave me for my birthday. So this one came with a green bag and this little bag charm. And then it also came with the black Monaco, some red gingham, and then color and cotton. These colors here. So really pretty colors. So I've got a lot of projects actually that are kitted up. There I zipped, sorry. A lot of color and cotton that are kitted up that I haven't tried yet, but I'm excited to try it. Here's another Mill Hill, buttons and beads. I love gingerbread houses, so this one is called Gingerbread House. Looks like it has a big gingerbread little guy there, and probably some little beads. So I haven't like prepped that one at all. Okay, this one I got when I went to visit my family in Tennessee at the Dixie Darlin was the name of the shop. The lady that owned it has since retired. So I have no thread for this one. I really didn't know much about different cross-stitch designs, what all designers and threads and fabric. I hadn't dived that deep into the world yet, and didn't really know that I was buying a pattern that the called for threads were dinky dyes, which is silk, and I really don't have a good place to get that. I think that Lindy Stitches might be offering those now, if I remember right. So it's possible I could kit that up, but I don't know. The design on this is so, like the elements are so small that I don't know that I need to use silk with that. I would think that DMC would be okay, but it doesn't really have a DMC conversion. So, I don't know what I'll end up doing. I might just have to pick my own colors. So I did get, while I was there, some 32 count linen in Country French Rain. It's a really pretty kind of blue gray. And I think it's the called for. Yeah. Yeah, I was able to find the called for. So that was nice. They had their fabrics just really nicely displayed there. And it's kind of sad that that won't be a spot that, you know, I can go to, but you know, when people are ready to retire, they deserve to have a chance to have that retirement, and we will miss their shops, but that's the way it goes, right? So the next one I have is the Snowball, and it's by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread, and it's a little booklet, and I've never really stitched hers before, and I thought this one looked like an easy one to start with. So it's got these 3 designs, and then I think it's got these 2, the little snowman family. And in my quest to, let's see, is that one on there? Okay, here's another one I'll show you on the front cover. Yeah. Love those candy canes, so cute. in my quest to find fabric to go with certain projects, I purchased some fabric that didn't work for those projects. But then I was like, okay, if it won't work for that one, do I have something else that would work for? So Stitch On sent me this to try. It's Cosmo, which I've never stitched on any of theirs, and the count's a little different. It's 18 count. And since these are probably 32 count, no, they're 36. The designs were worked on 36 count Patriots Brew Linen by R&R Reproductions. So anyway, I just decided you can do these on any count you want, right? So I thought I'd try this and see how that goes. So, all right, the next one is Liz Matthews influence. So she's doing a stitch along that I am not really doing because, you know, bandwidth. I've got to work on some of the things that I've got going on. But I saw this Dimensions kit that she's doing the stitch along with, and she's just picking out certain sections of this to work on every so often. So this is a Dimensions Gold collection, and it's a small one. I want to say it's a 6 by 6 inch, and it's called Coffee Shop. And across the top of the store it says fine teas, coffees, foods. And there's something about it. Of course, I love Christmas, but it also reminds me of a restaurant, coffee shop that was open for breakfast and brunch, like from, you know, early in the morning till 2 in Lawrence, downtown Lawrence. And it has since moved to a different location. And there's another restaurant called The Roost there, but the one that Roy and I used to go to all the time was called Milton's, and they had the best coffee, amazing food, like amazing French toast and bacon that was like apple smoked, and I don't know, it was just a great restaurant. And we would meet friends there, and it kind of had this kind of red awning, a big window in front. And we spent lots of time waiting outside on the sidewalk. You could go in and get a mug of coffee and go outside and wait. They had some concrete planters that you could sit around and wait for your name to get called. And I don't know, such great memories. And there was something about this that kind of reminded me of that. So anyway, it's all kitted up with threads and fabric. So anyway, that'll be fun to stitch. It does look like it's kind of full coverage, but anyway, all stitching is good stitching. So, Stitch On in Lawrence started hosting a stitch along. They usually go back and forth. They have a dedicated Facebook group, and they'll usually do like a stitch along, and then like the next month or so they'll do a quilt along, and then they'll pause for a little bit and maybe do, I think in July they're doing a UFO challenge for quilting, I think. And so it's usually a pretty active group. So this last stitch along that they started was for Strawberry Fair. And so I love strawberries, and that bird is so sweet. And then they sent the threads. So it's a mixture of Weeks Dye Works and some Classic Color Works, and you can see there's lots of pinks and reds and browns and some like yellows in there, a green, so really pretty. And I didn't start it, I think it was in May. I was in the second half of it. I was in like year 2 of I was wrapping that up, year 2 of some professional development that I had, and then had to do the training that was like a week long to be able to teach it or facilitate the training. So it was, I was at the end of that journey, and so I wasn't quite ready to start this, but excited to have the supplies for it. So for this one, I decided that I would use some leftover fiber on a whim, cream and sugar. It's on 32 count Belfast linen. So it was leftover from, I'd cut it from the berry patch from Hello from Liz Matthews that I had. And then I used another piece of it to hand dye Top Knot Stitchers. Like there's a cup of tea on top of some books. So in my whip parade, I showed that that I dyed some of that fabric. So that's the last little piece of that. So that's kind of fun. And oh my gosh, is that the last one? That is the last one. So that's everything that I have kitted up, and it's good because that's all that's all of even these kind of bags that I have. I've got a long list of project bags that I want to make, and hopefully this summer I'll have time to make some. But it's hard, like when you're really busy and don't get very much stitching time. Like I really focused on doing some stitching. I recently went to, like I said, Colorado Cross Stitcher. Colorado Cross Stitch. Let's see, let me get that right. Here's her bag. Colorado Cross Stitcher. Yep, and her shop's in Loveland. And I went in there specifically looking for fabric, and oh my goodness, I was blown away. It was so well organized. The lighting was amazing. She had a table back there by the fabric bins that you could like lay out the fabrics and your patterns and go through those things. And there was a light that was amazing up above that was so bright and clear, made it so easy to see and decide. I came in specifically looking for one particular piece of fabric, and kind of asked her opinion about it, and she pointed me in the right direction and didn't say, here, this is what you need to use. She kind of showed me some choices, and then she went back to the counter where she was working, and there was a couple ladies in there that were cross-stitching at a table, kind of having a little stitchy day. And then she came back to check on me a time or two and just let me like go through the fabrics and try and match up. So when I found the one that I wanted for the specific pattern that I was after, I had also brought some other patterns just in case I couldn't find something for that one. I had some other, patterns to choose from. And so then once I found the fabrics that I wanted and kind of had I went over my budget, but I don't know, I mean, it's hours and hours. It's probably 6 or 7 hours from here, maybe. And so I was like, it'll be okay. And then I went and looked for some patterns too. So next Flosstube, I'll show you some of the things that I got, and hopefully I can remember what I bought them for and paired them up with. But I have quite a few pieces here. I'm so excited. I will say fabric for cross stitch has never like gotten me really excited, but seeing what she had in those bins, like I kept pulling pieces of fabric out going, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. And then I would go, okay, wait a minute, do you have a project in mind that you want to do with that? Like, is that something that you think you're going to be able to use? So I did let myself indulge in a few pieces that were just because I love the fabric. But then I really did try very hard to just pick ones that I could use for patterns that I already had. So I had a lot of luck there. I was just so excited. So when I do a regular Flosstube, I will share some of that. And as I mentioned in my whip parade, I do have some quilting projects actually I've worked on. Very, very little, but I have one on my design wall here behind my iPad that's all laid out, and I've started piecing blocks. I haven't touched it in a little while, and my sewing machine is in being serviced. But I should get it back this week, and I'm just excited to have a little time to kind of get some momentum going, and I'm hoping that this year the amount of like my brain taking so much in will be a little less, and a little more balance between having time for some creative things and time for, work and professional development and all that. So I can't wait to show you what I've been stitching on in the next floss tube and what I've been quilting. So until then, I hope you have a great week and some great stitching time, and that you're enjoying your summer. So take care. Bye.